Hello, and today I'm going to go over the Chapter 6 study guide for our test coming up this week. It breaks down into a couple of easy categories. Of course, first we have the Articles of Confederation, and we need to remember the four weaknesses. It was a weak national government, gave Congress no power to tax, so it's a weak Congress, no power to tax or regulate commerce among the states. So without being able to tax, they didn't have any money to do anything. They did not have a common currency. Each state had its own currency, or they just used the British pound or gold or something, and gave each state one vote. So New York would have a vote, Delaware would have a vote, Virginia would have a vote. So the big states were not happy about that because the small states could cancel their vote. And then, of course, there was no executive or judicial branches, nothing to enforce the laws that they passed with the Articles of Confederation. Now, it was the first Constitution of the United States. This is our first form of government. This is what we had during the Revolutionary War. So this is the Constitution. You know, one of the benefits, one of the successes of the Articles of Confederation is that it was the Constitution that we used during the Revolutionary War, so we win that. And also, it helped us organize the Northwest Ordinance. This is the area that we won after Revolutionary War. Places like Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Alabama, Mississippi. All these areas were given to us after the war through the Treaty of Paris, and Northwest Ordinance helped us organize those territories into states and territories. And that's what we have right here. Outline the process for admitting new states into the Union and outlawed slavery in the new territories. Okay? So obviously the Articles of Confederation were no good. A lot of weaknesses, and they needed to be addressed. So the delegates met in Philadelphia to either repair the Articles of Confederation or to start over, and they decide to start over with a new constitution. That's what we have right here in this bullet. And George Washington was elected president of the Constitutional Convention. So not only does he become our first president, but he was president of the Constitutional Convention before he became president of the United States. James Madison, who we'll talk about again later, is the father of the Constitution. He's the main writer of the Constitution. Now, the delegates debated how much power should be given to the new government, so it was big back and forth between large states and small states and what the central government could do over the states. Their first solution was the Great Compromise. The Great Compromise decided how many votes each state would have. This is the Senate and House of Representatives solution, where the small states would get the Senate, 2 votes per state, and then the big states would get more representatives in the House of Representatives. The Constitution was signed, but it wasn't yet the law of the land. Each state had to vote on the Constitution, and if 9 out of the 13 states said yes, then it would become law. Okay, so remember 9 of 13 to ratify or make it law, the law of the land. 9 of 13 states had to vote for it. Okay, that's very important. Then we break down the Constitution into the 3 branches. We have the legislature right here. They make the laws. They write the laws. That's what it means to legislate. Then we have the executive. They execute the laws, or they carry them out. And judicial judges the laws or interprets them. And that's how our government works. The laws start here, then the executive makes sure everybody follows the laws, and then the judicial makes sure that everything is fair. Okay? And if there's any cracks or any loopholes, they fill it up. All right, so then after the Constitution is ratified, there was a lot of problems. People did not like that there were no personal rights spelled out in the Constitution, so they immediately addressed that once everybody was elected, they had a president and a Congress, and so they set forth and add the Bill of Rights to the Constitution. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. It was based on the Virginia Declaration of Rights, and that was written by George Mason, and the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, that was written by Thomas Jefferson. Okay, now that's very important. We just have to remember those two documents. An easy way that you can look at it, it's the opposite of what you would probably think, because when you think Thomas Jefferson, you think Declaration of Independence, but here it's the reverse. You got Declaration of Rights by George Mason, and then Thomas Jefferson has the other one, the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom. Okay? And then finally our first 5 presidents, we have George Washington. He picks the first judges in our federal court system, including the Supreme Court. The Bill of Rights are added to the Constitution while he's president. And the Capitol. He works with Benjamin Banneker. Well, Benjamin Banneker also helps design the city, and this was designed during his presidency. John Adams, second president, two-party system. That's easy to remember. Second president, two-party system, emerged during his presidency. Thomas Jefferson's all about the Louisiana Purchase. He buys the Louisiana Purchase and then sends Lewis and Clark to explore it. And then our fourth president, James Madison, War of 1812, and this caused European nations to gain respect for us. And finally, James Monroe. He introduced the Monroe Doctrine, which warns European nations not to interfere in the Western Hemisphere, the North America or South America. One last thing that we should remember is that all of the first 5 presidents were from Virginia except John Adams. John Adams is from Massachusetts, but you notice here, George Washington, Virginia, Thomas Jefferson, Virginia, James Madison, Virginia, and James Monroe, Virginia. Okay? Well, good luck on your test, and I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.